since I've done a recording, mostly because I've been harassed by the 1% because I was playing along with their BS. So they've stolen my notes from A-Mark. So 2 years, how many years have this has been started? Of them stealing my notes, growth in life, um, constant harassments, and they believe they can continue doing this. Been able to burn the fact that it has been uh, Eric Prince and the 1%. That was McRaven, obviously. McRaven theoretically has suffered his up and comings for assassinating Queen Elizabeth. Now, he might have pulled the trigger, but he had help from Eric Prince. But Mr. Prince has decided to take over the harassments. Yeah, I see why these kids are killing themselves because they're doing this to these kids as well. These sailors, when I say that as kids, I mean sailors and officers that harass them for years and years and just never stop. Um, a violation of civil and personal rights on the behest of the Democratic and probably Republican Party as well, because of what the 1% or these power families want. And then the president goes along with it. This is bullshit. This is the second Democratic president who's harassed me. I've been harassed since '06. Actually, before '06, that's Democrats. So it's one Republican, two Democratic. Probably they were doing this last week when Trump was inside. No one goes into the military, signs up for the military, serve their country, and then think that their whole lives can be destroyed because they do want to do the right thing. You, you don't want to have kids, but they have destroyed that. Why, how dare them? And it wasn't because I'm a bad person. I have my moments, I get angry, whatever, but it's because it's the exact opposite. I'm really, in most parts, pretty good dude. When I pick out a chick, I'm usually very particular. I got to be able to have a conversation. I'm not into the whole gotta be a player. You gotta be able to communicate. And that means I'm the type that's we're gonna date. Hello, Dad. Ew. There's there's this one chick on Instagram. I know, right? She's setting up a gaslight. This is one of the main things I wanted to do was on this was show how gaslighting works or explain how gaslight works. Now, met this one chick when I was on my bike, motorcycle ride. Pretty cool chick. I was like, hey, dude, whatever. Could have hooked up. Brain, like, was able to fogged up, so I didn't hook up. It was still like, yeah, cool, whatever. But then I met her again. I was in Colorado. She was kind of searching for me in a way. I don't know, whatever. But van life time. But the thing is, I when a woman puts you into women put men into categories. A lot of time, women, what they'll do is they will put the guy they like into the category and go, oh, you can only be this way. You can only be this person. And then they'll go be all positive and happy go lucky with the other person. Another dude, and they're all just friends. I'm like, but you're giving the emotions that I would need to have a relationship with you. to that person. So there's no relationship. There can never be any relationship between us. And her mindset is the only time we can be a relationship is if we're gonna go all the way to the happy whatever. And I'm like, because the thing you needed to do is to treat me like a human being. If you don't, women treat the guy they want like shit, and then think, well, he wants to be around them. Another one is another chick, right? She got married, her and her wife were happy, go whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. As a man, he's like, oh, I lost the thing. We were friends. And I said to her, I was like, oh, I should have asked you out. I wanted to. And but she had always put up these fucking walls. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna. Because what mattered to me, the part that I want to have a relationship with is the friend, and the other, not her friend, is the person we communicate with. But anytime she got emotional, she would then slap up these walls. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to fight through this bullshit because that's not what I want. It's not going to create the latter outcomes. And she got all pissed off and moved. I'm like, whoa, if I meant so much to you, then why didn't you ask me out? You know, um, situation um, this constant gaslighting. Her dad had to tell her, who was a retired lieutenant colonel, had to inform her that this situation is real. She needs to fucking stop it. But she still hasn't apologized. And she'll never apologize. So we don't have, we'll never have a relationship, even as a friend. I might fuck her, maybe, but I wouldn't, I don't, I'm just disappointed and disgusted by it. And that's what sucks. Women do this shit. They go, oh, you're a cool person. I like you. So let me treat you like crap. Like, no, that's not how this works. And if you try to have that conversation, you get the petulant child. And it's like, that's not the emotions I want to deal with. I just dealt with my mother, her situation. I'm getting compressed by my brother and my sister who are gaslighting me, thinking I don't know. I'm just sitting there going, how the fuck are you gaslighting me? Right? I'm under all this damn stress. And I don't get any relief from anyone. These assholes are cutting out in my computers. Today I was getting up and I saw and I just fucking around on sim trading and I'd watch and it was literally as soon as I put the freaking position in, it would stop and immediately go back. I'd pull the position, go and I've done this so many times where I was sitting there, oh yeah, yep. You know, what is it about me that they are so afraid of? Oh, I can make my own capital. I don't need them. I can use the systems as they are and live quite a nice, boring life. And this is me saying this before all of this crap with colonialism, not crap, all this geopolitics stuff. Just me living my life. They couldn't handle that because they always are, because they need black African American men to be this thug, drug dealer, dumb shit. And I'm, I can't, I'm not that. But again, my mom, who, so my sister was, oh, she's doing dementia. I'm like, dude, I know the difference from my mom. My mom has always been a very abusive. So I probably know, and what they've been doing is trying to get me to be homeless and down the road and all this other shit. So we're gonna see later this evening, probably my brother and sister are gonna say, well, you can't be here anymore. We're gonna create more chaos and hazards for you. Oh, after you've been using my name to live the high on the hog, go fuck yourselves. You know, I fucking tired of this shit. Have your whole life ripped apart. You know, I had dreams, goals, and these pieces of shit. Yeah, faggots, because most psychopaths are faggots because they're feminine. If they're male, they're feminine. And two, I know they're trying to play the. They keep going back to the whole sense in the um, trying to push me self out of my body and then put some demon state into the self as the body. You know, that's kind of metaphysical weirdo shit. If you view yourself, the body as a vessel and the soul sits within the vessel, and then a demon, when they say a demon possessed, is that so an energy set or a mood set pushes the soul or shrinks the soul. That's where they have compressed it. That's when a person's disassociated. They shut down their true self, and then you have when the demon enters or the means that isn't that person. That's when the person says, I wasn't myself, because they really weren't themselves. The soul self had been pressed out. And that's what they're trying to do. And then they give up, or they say, well, those who find just like, fuck it, I don't want to deal with this anymore, and they end up killing themselves. And that's what they want. Well, it's never going to end. We're going to keep doing this. We can fuck with you. We can, right? Because I have money that I can do what I need to do to make things happen. And actually, and I'm pretty sure I can do that even without. And this is the bullshit that goes on. Now, I can also kind of understand certain things work for us now. The president doesn't want to make it look like it's the Democrats who are hammering the Republicans, but the reality is the big money wants to push it out and then turn it, push holding Congress and reestablishing the Constitution out because they know they'll never let that happen. That they want is to overturn the Constitution. And they figure they can put a president who becomes a dictator, they think they can control that dictator like they think they have Orban. And only a few, two or three people who wants to make money, everyone else sits there and just sucks it up. That's so un American and counter to the way good capitalism works. What that ends up creating is just violence. Because people can't change their situation through peaceful means at the ballot box, eventually violence comes. And then, you know, the dictator, you see what happens with Putin. The woman starts playing, keeping up with the Joneses. So he's taking shit. I might as well blow up their lands, take there. I got a bigger army. And then this is how the world just falls into chaos. And these white nationalists, these Christian white nationalists, this is what they're trying to stoke. This is what they want. Now, this is going to be a very quick one. We're going to go to Nigeria. What's going on in Nigeria is colonialism. It's still colonialism. The French government controls their banking reserves and then says you can only use 20% of it because they're using 80% of whatever's in the banks that in France as the fractional reserve. So they're making all this money off of Niger. They're making all, and they have no control over their own destiny. So I don't really blame the Nigerians for actually kicking the French out. You know, I can also stay within my own little thing where I was like, okay, doing this thing, money's going to be in American banks or held under American. Well, my company's going to be held under American because I'm an American. But you know, the royal banks, the royal part is going to be held within Scotland and the Royal Bank of Scotland and the Royal Bank of England. But uh, as an American, I'm actually going to create my own damn bank. And this is what they're afraid of. I control, be master of my own destiny, not them. and that King Charles is not upholding the laws and customs of England and the Commonwealth and the United Kingdom, and that he's letting his wife slowly assassinate his son. And that's pretty pathetic. Thank you. The longer Prince Harry is out of the old money rhythm, he's basically going, which is the other thing they're doing, is drawing it out, drawing it out, drawing it out, which is what we see Trump do. That's his main tactic. Where do you think he learned that from? Everyone just gives up after time because they don't have lawyers or extra money or whatever. You know, if we don't have the rule of law, we don't sit there. Then we don't have a country. It's a waste. We're just then I'm basically living in a dictatorship. And the president of the United States is doing that because until he's proven me wrong, he's right now going to be admirals, or Eric Prince is acting on alone, which means Eric Prince was acting alone, even though he was using active duty SEALs, him and McRaven, working with King Charles and Queen Camilla, making them unfit to be king or queen by British rule law. And Prime Minister Sunak is put in just to be a placeholder. We're going to see what's happening. It's going to happen. I'm pretty damn sure. They keep trying to homeless. No, man. There's no reason for me to be homeless. And I'm not playing this Hollywood game bullshit because I want my money. I'm tired of this shit. I never don't want to be famous. Because I was planning on just being rich on my own work. And rich wasn't even super enough, just enough to get my own place, get my van, go snowboard and live the rest of my life. I don't want the fame. Never have. I find it a waste. Idiots who want it are stupid because others control your strings. But when you have your own systems and you build your own things, that's what we mean by American freedom. But they don't want persons of melanated skin to have their own freedom because that's how they manipulate and maneuver the masses. And like could say, "Oh, it's rah rah Joe Biden." Yeah, but I don't. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but he also was one of the ones who voted for the crime bill that decimated Black Americans, and we have the cultural situation we have now. So that's all I have for this one. This is a short one. I'm just gonna go. I'm also gonna be dealing with family situations I don't like dealing with, but my mom's behavior, and then they're gonna dump it on me. But you know, also the other thing is they've hacked all my friends on Facebook. You know, Susan Moore, Susan Bercher. Her daughter is at the Air Force Academy. Her son, I think, cut in the CIA because of me. Known since middle school. Hacked her Facebook profile, my buddy Ahmed. so that way he can get that. They hacked his. Kathy Buckland hacked hers. These aren't random little things. And then they attempted to kill Dee Browning. And then when they couldn't kill her, or like blocked her from doing something stupid so they could kill her. So they probably might still try to kill her. Because there's like, you can only be these things. I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm just a man, dude. I got my appetites. You interfere with my life, not the other way around. You don't tell me who I am. It's that situation with Queen Elizabeth says, oh, you got to be a Jedi. I'm out. Appreciate it. We're going to keep bugging you until you do it. No, not. That's not who I am. I am a mystic. I do believe in ideas, but the quote Sith are the ones well, what they really, really want is so that they can be as evil or whatever. And then I'm supposed to be this sign of positivity and this and that, and then they can start throwing all their negative. And that's how they flipped. You know, in the fictional world. And it's no, dude. There's no. You can be if you could have absolutely nothing being absolutely horrible and being like this dude Steve is, who keeps harassing me, and you can have $1 billion and be still a good person. Man makes the money. Money does not make the man. And I'm no freaking monk, but the fact that they stole my private, and that's one of the main things about these Americans. You're supposed to find your way to God by your own privacies, and however you wish to. All of my rights have been just trampled on, and the president figures, well, you can get political gain out of it. I'm not voting for him, dude. Fuck it. If we're gonna live in a dictatorship, I might as well live in a dictatorship and get the fuck out before it blows up. Because I'm not been part of it. How you enter in determines a lot of how you exit out. And you see my brother and sister keep gaslighting me. I'm coming to the conclusion they're just pieces of shit too. Everyone in my family, everyone I've ever known that's supposed to help me, protect me, close to me. All they ever do is there's only a couple people in my life that ever viewed me as like, hey dude, what's up? Everyone else has always been like, oh, how can we use them? How can we just take advantage of them? People suck. They can go fuck themselves. I wish everyone well. And you say, well, you shouldn't be so negative. Dude, you can only take so much. So I'm going to continue my theoretical studies in philosophy and metaphysics just because it bugs the hell out of them. And it really sucks because I really had those on. Oh well. Good thing I got my other notes as far as I'm concerned, but those handwritten notes, there's a kind of an extra meaning to them. And the 1% is using them for their own power. So the only other question is, it was a day Mark or Martin missed. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to still keep going. I don't think it was them. But I'm going to send a letter just in case that